Hello and welcome to the Kindred Essence Tarot and to my latest reading, which is Why Did They Do It? So find out why a particular person perpetrated a stupid, evil, or destructive act. So think of a particular person who has perpetrated, like a nefarious act or something that's, that you frown upon or could be frowned upon, and ask yourself, why did they do it? And see what pile you resonate the most with. And then let's get started. So why did they do it? Pile number 1, the purple flashlight pile. All right, so purple flashlight pile. Hello, my purple flashlight piles. Number 1. Let's see. Why did they do it? Let's see what cards we have. We've got the King of Wands. So I'm already getting an energy of somebody. I'm hearing somebody who wants to have power and be in control. But let's see what the other cards are that we have. The Queen of Swords. Oh, two human-like energies. Interesting. Let's see. The Seven of Pentacles. Interesting. Or Eight of Pentacles. And let's see what else. Oh, wow. Queen of Swords. This is why I have different decks, but I like to combine 2 decks, because then there'll be a repeating theme, and that's a real emphasis that that I'm on the right track, or that the pile's on the right track for getting at the truth of the matter. So I immediately got, when I got the King of Wands, somebody who really is somebody. Why did they do it? Somebody who really needs. I'm hearing they really need to dominate. That's their the modus operandi. There's a psychological modus operandi, if you will, or psychological program, is that they have to dominate. They have to dominate. They have to dominate, and they. I'm hearing that to dominate, they'll switch between being a really obnoxious, loud, powerful person to somebody who really uses words to cut at people, because that's a negative side of the Queen of Swords, right? Is somebody who uses, so this male and female energies, they kind of switch between these 2 personas. It's their toxic way of gaining power over other people. So they acted this way in a particular situation. They acted the way that they did to gain power over, and I'm hearing either you or just, I'm hearing, don't take it personal. You may feel like it was very personal, and it was personal, I'm hearing, because it feels personal, but it's like, this is the energy that they put on everybody else too. It can feel very personal and exceedingly unpleasant when we deal with these kinds of people, but the person was trying to gain power, and they did it with cruel words, I'm hearing. And then I'm hearing also, they do this because, interesting, because we've got the 8 of Wands here, and I'm hearing that they do this because sometimes they're either bored in some cases, or they don't have any energy. This is what I'm hearing. They don't have any energy. They don't have any spiritual energy or any energy. They're completely disconnected from source. So they perpetrated a particular action that they did towards you because they felt disconnected from source, but it's also a disconnected from energy, I'm hearing. So it's sort of like they have to, when they feel disconnected from source, if you will, or energy, I hear they first go into this persona. And when that doesn't work, the really obnoxious pushing around, bossy, or not bossy, but sort of controlling persona, then they switch into the Queen of Swords, which is with the cutting words, they'll become more subtle. So it's what I'm hearing is they switch between a very overt narcissist, control freak, to the one that's not covert, I won't say, but a little bit more covert, but they're still obnoxious, but in a more manipulative way, is what I'm hearing. So I'm hearing, they do this to everybody. And I'm hearing also they do this because they don't feel a stable foundation. They don't feel a sort of a connection. The purple flashlight, it's a very sort of spiritual color, if you will. So it's sort of like what I'm hearing with this, they don't feel a stable foundation, and they feel this energy. And it's interesting. I'm looking at the purple, and I'm looking at the purple here. It's sort of like they basically, they feel that that's always, I feel like that they're this person, and it's always out of reach. Their sense of sort of spiritual, what's the word, like connection is out of reach, and that's why they did it, whatever the action was. But it was a very obnoxious, insensitive action. Also, too, I'm hearing that with the high priestess, is that they did it because I'm feeling a sense of deprival in different ways. Deprival, but they're completely unconscious of this, but they feel deprival of sort of spiritual energy with the high priestess. That's what I see when I hear this. It's sort of like, when I see that, it's sort of like they feel sort of deprived of that kind of spiritual energy. And because of that, they have to act obnoxious and get energy, because it's like, I hear that they don't like people. What I'm hearing, okay, this is what I'm hearing too. I hear they don't have that intuitive, they're completely devoid of the high priestess energy of sort of spiritual, intuitive awareness. And they don't like, and I'm hearing super unconscious person. That's what I'm hearing. Super unconscious person is why they did what they did. Super unconscious. But not only do they not have the energy of the high priestess, but they hate people who do have like a mysterious, quiet, hidden, boundaried, because the high priestess kind of, she keeps her boundaries. They don't like these kind of people. They need to attack spiritual people, if you will, too. That are sort of, the high priestess in her highest element is a very sort of spiritual, card. Intuitive, can get, information very easily. So because of that, I'm hearing they need to attack. They need to attack her. They need to attack woman, or even, woman, Queen of Pentacles. I heard they need to attack women as well, too. Interesting. So that's what I got, too. The Queen of Pentacles, that they need to attack. That's what I get, is that they're not like the Queen of Pentacles, but they need to attack any woman in particular that has it together, or sort of has a spiritual element to them, like, or it isn't, they perceive as sort of like, like they sort of as having sort of a secretive nature, or not putting it out on the table. They'll just attack this person. So they're very unconscious. I'm hearing they don't, it's like they've got an operating system that is so unconscious that they don't know how to even make heads or tails of it. I'm hearing for, so in some cases, it's because they feel, I keep on getting, they feel cut off from the divine with this, I cover it because I cover it with a nudity sticker, right? I cover, cards with the nudity sticker, right? Just because of YouTube, good old YouTube, right? But I'm hearing that they're very cut off from the divine with that, and because of that, I keep on getting they've got an anger towards females, or anger towards spirituality, or anger towards people who won't conform to their way of doing things, and that's why. So that's why they did it. I hope that reading was helpful to you. I hope that reading was helpful to you, and I hope that you have a good day. All right, so let us move on to pile number 2, the red flashlight pile. Hello, pile number 2, the red flashlight pile. Let us figure out the answer to the question, why did they do it? So the person in question, they perpetrated a questionable act, shall we say. Now we're going to figure out, why did they perpetrate this questionable act? So pile number 2. Okay, let's see. Why did they perpetrate this questionable act that they perpetrated? Let's see. The Ace of Cups in reverse. Interesting. 5 of Pentacles upright. The 10 of Wands upright. Let's see, we've got the 8 of Swords. Interesting. I'm getting kind of an energy for this, and the Knight of Wands. So they Here we go. Let me get these out so it's on the frame. So we've got the, so what I'm getting is a lot of frustrated anger and a lot of, and I think it's very, I'm hearing it that it's very appropriate that the Ace of Cups is in reverse. So we've got the Ace of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, the 8 of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. So what I'm getting with the red flashlight pile is that there's just a lot of frustrated energy, and they didn't know. I'm hearing they didn't know how to do with it. What to do with it. I'm getting at the Ace of Cups is paired with the Knight of Wands, and they have a lot of, and the sort of the red flashlight energy. It's sort of like they have this frustrated, angry, aggressive energy, and they didn't know at all what to do with it. So, and they put it on other people. It's sort of like they may have cast you out in some way, is what I'm hearing. Cast you out or blamed you or put something on you or sort of abandoned you or put you in a situation where other people abandoned you or something to that effect. It's sort of like they cast some sort of, because they weren't willing to look at their emotions, and their emotions were so frustrated. In the Nine of Wands. Also, the Knights are about movement forward. So somehow, it's sort of like they blame other people for their life and not moving forward. And because of that, they have an obstructed energy, right? I'm hearing like obstructed. The Ace of Cups, emotionally obstructed. Because they're emotionally obstructed, they are obstructed with, they're like here burdened. They're obstructed and burdened, and they feel with the Eight of Swords. You see here, he's stuck. The Eight of Swords. He's stuck behind something, and he can't get out. So like a very much an obstructed energy, right? I'll put that upright because I feel like that's like an upright energy, but it's sort of like it's sort of like they're holding, and they feel like they're holding these burdens, and they don't know that they don't have to almost carry these emotional burdens, but it's sort of like they cast other people out or cast their burdens. I'm hearing also too, in some cases, they try to empty their burdens on you and dump their emotions on you with the Ace of Cups. It's sort of like they try to heap their emotions or their burdens on you, and sort of, I'm hearing that they heap their emotions or their burdens on you in a manipulative way, is what I'm hearing. And you felt cast out, but I'm hearing that they're the ones who originally felt cast out. So they entrapped. I'm getting very much the energy of being emotionally trapped because they're not willing to feel their emotions. So they're obstructed, they're burdened. Here, they're trapped, right? So they cast you out because of that. Let's see if I can get some more cards. Okay, let's see. We've got Justice. They also may feel, I'm hearing, why did they do it? They feel like there's no justice in their own life. And because of that, they felt, but I'm hearing that their sense of justice is very skewed, and their sense of perceptions are even more skewed by their emotional distortions, is what I'm hearing. And it's sort of like, because of that, yeah, they feel the sense of being, the Eight of Wands, of being kind of, you see he's looking off forlornly, of feeling trapped. And it's almost like they wanted to create some sense of justice. And they didn't know how to do it, but sort of dump their unregulated emotions on you. So let's see, that's why they did that. And that's why they did it. And let's see what else. I got 8 from the bottom. We'll see what card I've got there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The Chariot. It's like they feel that they can't, yeah, I get that again. It's very much, they feel like they can't move forward. And they don't, there's somebody who doesn't feel in control of their own life, and they're not willing to take responsibility for their own emotions. So it's sort of like they have to put it they have to put it on other people is what I'm hearing. They had to put it on other people, and doing some sort of damage to you was a dishonest way of creating some movement that didn't really lead anywhere. So it's sort of like that's why they did it. They were just very disconnected from their emotions, trying to, and I get like the King of Cups again, very disconnected from their emotions. Instead of feeling their emotions, instead of feeling or their anger or the various palettes of, instead of feeling, I hear the word palette, like instead of feeling the full emotions, they just kind of put it on other people and cause people pain and to feel you were like left, kind of, they kicked you out. But I'm hearing that this is what they do to lots of people. They kick them out, and they cause sort of a kind of a negative spiral in other people. That's what I hear. They cause, because of their own issues, they create a sort of negative spiral in other people. And I'm hearing oftentimes they think it's justified and just what they did, but it's really not at all. It's their own. I'm hearing that why did they do it? Because their perceptions are so distorted. And a combination of distorted perceptions, not feeling emotions, being trapped, and not being able to move forward is the reason that they did it. Interesting. That's all I'm getting for pile number 2. I hope that you enjoyed that. Now let's move on to pile number 3. Let me take away these cards so everything's nice and organized. And here we go. And now it is time for pile number 3, the orange flashlight pile. So yeah, we got the orange flashlight pile. Let's see what we have for the orange flashlight pile. We've got I've got my nudity stickers to wait just in case there's, okay, the 9 of Pentacles. Why do they do what they do? King of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles in reverse, and Page of Cups. Interesting. So the orange is interesting. I'm hearing that, why did they do it? And it's sort of like emotional. I'm hearing emotional immaturity. And it's interesting because I've got the Page of Cups, and then we've got the 9 of Pentacles and the King of Wands. But I'm getting that with the Page of Cups, there's elements of emotional immaturity and not wanting to almost take responsibility, and that's why they did it. They basically also they wanted to, it's like they almost wanted to, something in their life, what I'm hearing is something in their life is very backwards, is what I'm hearing. Something in their life is very backwards, because we've got the King of Wands and then the Page of Cups in reverse. So I'm hearing that they did it because something in their life is very very backwards. So let's see, what do we have here? The Knight of Wands. They can't, it's like they want to be someone, I'm hearing that they want to be someone that they're not, and that's why they did it. Interesting. They want to be someone they want to be someone that they're not, but they're completely backwards, and they're let's see, what else? I'm gonna shuffle it some more. Yeah, they want to be somebody that they're not. I'm hearing that it's somebody who's puts on an airs. That's what I see with this picture right here, right? I see somebody who puts on airs and like sort of, I'm hearing it, there's a lot of pretense. I'm hearing a lot of pretense. And with the Page of Cups and that being reversed, we're kind of going in the wrong order. And the King over here, it's sort of like there's something wrong in their life that's very like wrong and backwards is what I'm hearing. But okay, why did they do it? Let's get some more cards. Why did they do it? Knight of Pentacles. I'm hearing too that they did it because they want to move forward, but without putting in the effort. So that's why they did it too. They They may have stolen something, stolen someone's ideas, even stolen someone's emotions. I would have here, like very much. I'm getting kind of a thief energy, and instead of and what I'm hearing is instead of, oh, I've got 3 knights here that I pulled, right? I've got 3 knights. So it's about moving. I'm hearing that it's about moving forward, and I'm hearing that instead of moving forward in the right way, oh, sorry, I'll put this so it's kind of can be seen. But I pulled 3 knights here. And that's very significant because the knights are about movement. So I'm hearing that instead of moving forward in the right way, they move forward in a very dishonest way. And I'm hearing, I know I didn't pull the thief card, but I keep on hearing they're a thief. They're a thief, and if it's not an actual literal thief, they're an emotional thief. I'm hearing, and a fake. I'm hearing that's why they did it, because they're an emotional thief and a fake, and there's something bent and even wrong and distorted in their life they're not almost, in some cases I'm hearing that they're not in touch with reality, and it's like you don't know what side they're gonna show, like the Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, Knight of Cups, but they can't move forward because you don't know what side they are going to show, type thing. And sometimes they do know, actually. They do know. So I'm hearing this is a thief. That's what, an immature thief. And that's why they did it. And let's see what else. Let me get some more information. Why did they do this? What did they do? And I got the Magician. So what I'm hearing is, why did they do it? They perpetrated, or they have a tendency to perpetrate actions that are not coming from love, but are coming from power. They don't perpetrate actions that are coming from love, and they come from power. And I'm hearing tricky, because the Magician can be a tricky card. And like I said before, thief, deceptive, never truly being integrous. I'm hearing that's why they do it, because they feel that doing things the integrous way would be too much. I hear it would be too much work to do things the integrous way, would be too much work. So I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to. So yeah, I'm hearing this could be a scammer type thing. It could be somebody who moves forward towards something in the wrong way. With the Magician, I'm hearing in the worst case scenario, this person could be like a scammer, but they're an emotional scammer, I see, with the Knight of Cups. So that's why they did it too, because they just want to have. I hear that they want to have all the power, but none of the responsibility. They want to have all the power, but none of the responsibility. And I hear a deeply flawed, foolish human being, and I pulled the Fool. So it's like a deeply foolish human being. That's why, without much sort of spiritual know-how. So that's why they did it. But yeah, they abuse their power. Because they like all the power, but none of the responsibility. They don't want to move forward in an ethical way. So that's why they did it. All the power, no responsibility. They don't seem like a very... I heard the word swell. They don't seem like a swell human being. Don't know why I heard that word. But, yeah, so that's what we've got here. Why did they do it? So that was pile number 3, the orange flashlight pile. I hope that you enjoyed that. And I hope you have a good day. Hope this reading was helpful for you. All right. So that was pile number 3. Why did they do it? Now let's see. Pile number 4. Why did they do it? Why did this person, for the yellow flashlight pile, why did they perpetrate this nefarious, questionable, unpleasant act? Why did they do it? Why did the pile number 4, the yellow flashlight pile, why did the person that you're asking about do that? Okay. The Tower in reverse. 2 of Wands in reverse. The Hanged Man. Interesting. Okay, I'm probably getting a picture, but I'm hearing in some cases that and I'll see the rest of the cards too. I just gotta kind of, they did it for some form of excitement is what I'm hearing in some cases. They thought that it would somehow, why did they do it? They did it because they thought it would snap them out of a state. Okay, this is what I hear. I'm hearing that they thought that it would snap them out of a particular state, but it made things worse, is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing the emotionally immature, the Hierophant. I'm hearing because they did it too because they have undercurrents of religious judgment as well. Like there's they did it too also because they have undercurrents of religious judgmentalism that they feel directed towards them. So I'm hearing that religion has sort of messed with their mind a little bit, and that has sort of created sort of warped their outlook on things. So it's sort of like this person, they acted in a way, they acted in sort of what some ways, why did they do it? They acted in a way that some people would call irrational and illogical, and it would seem that way to other people, like, but it has although it seems how they acted just seems completely illogical, it was basically in their mind, and they may not be aware of it, and probably they're not aware of this. They're probably not very, intuitive or self-aware, if you will, right? But they did it because they wanted to almost like create some excitement or jar themselves out of their own hell in some cases. Like they wanted to jar themselves out of it, and they thought, I'll just create some excitement. But I'm hearing that they ended this act, and the part of their mind was like, I'm going to create some sort of excitement, but and I'm just going to create. So what I'm hearing is that, I'm just going to set off some little bit of dynamite. I'm going to set off some firecrackers over here and just create a little bit of a disturbance, I hear. But instead, they didn't know it was a firecracker. They weren't fully aware of this. They set off a bomb instead of a firecracker, is what I'm hearing. But they thought, I'll just set off a firecracker, and it will help me snap out of my state. It will help me snap out of my sort of state and move forward. And there's also, they did it because there's almost, I'm hearing for some, it's almost like, I'm drawing back to the Hierophant, which is, I think when I look at that card, I think of it's like religious conditioning. I'm hearing too, I'm hearing that they act in ways that are self-destructive because of like religious conditioning or other ways. They have a very self-destructive streak, and sometimes they don't know why they do the things that they do. They're kind of forlorn about this, but they kind of act that way. They act in ways that don't make sense, but it makes sense to them on some level, not at a full level, because they don't have much self-awareness. But yeah, like it's sort of like they basically we'll see what else I'm drawn to the Victory card. They thought, like, their perceptions, because of some sort of trauma, some sort of religious trauma, because of some sort of distortion, some sort of self-destructive thinking, they thought, this will be a faster way to victory. Like, they were kind of, in some cases I hear, they're kind of frustrated. Like for example, like when I don't know if this came to mind, but when somebody wants somebody else to commit to something or a person, they think, if I do something really chaotic, maybe I'll speed up the process. Or if I really want somebody to, I don't know, do some particular act, I'll act in a really, what's the word, extreme manner, and that will help me get what I want. That will create what I want. That will create what I want. That will create the victory for that they want. They thought acting in this way or acting in a self-destructive way would create victory. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on. Self-destructive, but wanting victory, acting in a destructive way that will create victory, and yet not knowing if it will, but doing it despite that. So I'm seeing again that I'm seeing like the Two of Wands, the Three of Wands. So they're trying to take, because oftentimes someone will get, the Hangman is very much about being stuck. So is the Two of Wands. And the whole idea is when someone's at Two of Wands, they want to bring it to Three of Wands. So they were trying to, through it in their own distorted, twisted way, it's like they were trying to create a change for being in the state of the Hanged Man and the Two of Wands to, like, that's what I see, to, like, the Three of Wands, which is movement, which is actually moving out there, moving out of the hanged state. So they thought, oh, it will do that. It will, me doing this act will get me to my victory and will get me out of the hanged Two of Wands state to the Three of Wands and the Six of Wands state. So, and then combined with, in some cases, religious, punitive, twisted, something went on with their upbringing where they distort everything, possibly to do with religion, a lot of judgmentalism, a lot of self-punishment, if you will. And then, yeah, and then wanting to move out of that state into the victorious, moving state by creating a little fire or over here, thinking, oh, it's just a firecracker, but I hear, yeah, they thought it was a firecracker, but it was a bomb or a nuclear bomb. Like, yeah, big difference. I thought, oh, I'll just set off this firecracker over here. It will create some movement, but they didn't really anticipate fully or consciously what that full movement would be. Interesting. I'm hearing one more card. One more card will make this reading complete. Yeah, the Seven of Cups. And I'm hearing again, they are kind of, their head is in the clouds, or they wanted to, okay, either their head is in the clouds and they're distorted thinking with the Seven Cups, or they really wanted to push themselves or push someone else to make sort of decision or to get out of the state with the choices, right? Because that's the same, this is kind of the same energy as the Two of Wands and the Hanged Man. They wanted to make a choice. They wanted to get their sort of their life on track and get victory quick. But it didn't work. That I'm hearing it didn't work out that way, and they wanted to clarify what cup they wanted, but maybe realized it wasn't the cup they wanted, and they didn't almost realize that you have to sort of clarify your own internal self before bringing that to the world, if that makes any sense. Yeah, clarifying your inner self before bringing it to the world. But they didn't do that. They didn't clarify their energy, and I'm hearing in some cases they created a disaster for themselves. And yeah, so that's kind of an interesting energy. All right, so that was pile number 4. I hope that this was helpful for you in finding out why did they do it? Why did they perpetrate this action? All right, bye-bye.